Yo, listen up as I narrate the Vector's tale. A man from afar riding the temporal gale. Ronin by name and a Ronin by fate. In the tapestry of time he's got a date. He ain't just saving, he's exploring the rift. In the timelines he travels, he's given a lift. Seeking tech and secrets in a world that's gone astray. Ronin's the man who's gonna find a way. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. From a future so bright to our present so bleak, he's the silent watcher, the tech he does seek. Not just a savior, but a seeker of lore. Ronin's the key to what we're looking for. Through the ruins and the relics, he's making his mark. A beacon of hope in the timeline so dark. With every secret he finds, every piece he retrieves. He's crafting a future nobody believes. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied.
Hello and welcome back to my show at long last. My name, in case it wasn't obvious through the music, my name is Ronin Vector. I'm here, back again in your timeline, after slumbering for 1,000 years. Just doing some stuff. Let's see. Let's run down a few things that happened while your beloved time traveler has been away. The computer in which I use to do my streams, read my comics, play my games, do our chatbots, whatever stupid shit we get up to, it crapped out. My hard drive, the main one that's responsible for not sucking and keeping everything together, just died. It shit the bed. It's dead. It's gone. I keep it in my computer. It's in there. I'm pretty sure it's still in there. Kind of forget. Either way, it's fixed. We have a video card that is like 4 times better. I've been given it, putting it through its paces, and it's been doing well. I even fixed some other problems like my CPU, and I also may roll back the drivers on my 4090 since the release of the 5000 series. All these updates suck. With that being said, about the computer, I've been doing some hydroponics. I've been working on my mycelium, my mycology projects. What else do we have? I took some classes. Yep, I took a class in water bath canning and pressure canning. It was 2 separate classes. I did one last week and the one before. So I've just been busy taking care of shit, really. Just preparing for the impending apocalypse. No big deal. But I'm back now. Everything is self-sufficient. We got plants, watering themselves. My mushroom venture is all self-contained in jars, so that doesn't need anything. Hard part is done on that. So we're working on creating a very self-sufficient system of keeping ourselves fed and stoned, more or less. Let's get some music going here. I got to give it to Streamlabs. I wasn't quite sure what to expect in terms of recovering my layouts and stuff, and it all came back relatively easy. I had to resize a few windows, but it even saved a lot of the assets, like stuff that would have been lost forever had it not been saved by Streamlabs. So I gotta say, I've been having very few issues with Streamlabs, and the fact that it was able to save all my stuff for a relatively seamless transition, I'm a happy boy, what can I say? So we're looking to get back into, speaking of resizing windows, my main screen don't look right. Looks like I forgot to resize it. My bad. Let's get that fixed up. I gotta think. Come on, little grabby tool. They made this painful. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure there's a fit to window. Fit to screen. Maybe don't fit to screen. Try this again. Because if I fit it to the screen, it's just gonna stretch out the image, and we don't want that. We want a nice quality comic experience. Well, quality being limited to your internet and my ability to upload. I can barely see. There we go. We could do a little better. Alright. Sorry about that. See, there we go. Now we could see the comic. We could see my head. It's all beautiful. So, it's been a while. Been a good month since we last did a comic here, but we're going to continue with Uncanny X-Men. I am determined to see this through as far as I can before I die. So what we're gonna do is, for those who are new initiates to my deal here, is that yes, this is a live reading of the OG Uncanny X-Men by the great Stan Lee and friends. but it is as much a discussion as it is a live reading. If you're looking for like a good breakdown of comic books like Comics Explained does, or Casually Comics, or something really in-depth, you know, this isn't exactly that. If you're looking for something that is really well read, very well voice acted, just putting in all the bells and whistles, it's not quite that either. It's somewhere between those two things and like maybe part reaction video too. So while I have a great knowledge of a lot of comic book characters, I'm seeing that starting from the very beginning, I don't really know jack shit. Like the last comic book we dealt with, and this one continues that plot line. We have our beloved X-Men, our favorite unusual teenage fighting force, and they're going up against a bunch of nobodies as far as I'm concerned. The last time we tuned in to this was the first time I heard of them, and I haven't even like thought of them in passing or seen them anywhere or been like, oh wait, yeah, no, Count Nefaria, yeah, that's the guy. No, I haven't had that yet. So our slew of nobodies that fill in as supervillains today is Count Nefaria, which is just some rich dick who captured the X-Men. His goal was to capture the X-Men in order to try to get them to be all in with the take over the world kind of deal. Obviously, the X-Men ain't about that, but they were captured by Unicorn, Scarecrow, Eel, Plantman, Porcupine, and apparently we get some more goon action in this. And all of these villains appear to be like from something else. I think one or two of them might be like a Namor villain, you know. But even whatever they're drawing upon, they're clearly just a bunch of nobodies. You know, which isn't to bash the characters. They are what they are. But, there we go. I'm trying to get a good balance on the music here. I think that'll do. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there are a bunch of nobodies. If you challenge me to, like, remember what the hell their powers were even, Unicorn, I believe, is this dude up top here. And we're just going to get right into it, folks, because I've already wasted enough time not doing this. So the guy up here is Unicorn. I don't know if he's got some elaborate backstory or not. I think out of everybody in the group, he's the one that wants to make a power play against Count Nefaria, who is the one that's heading up this little venture here. We have, let's see, forgot the names already. Plantman, I think, is obviously at the bottom here. Scarecrow's at the left. The Eel is also to the left. And in the middle, we got Porcupine. Yeah, their powers, fuck if I remember. Obviously, Eel is going off like an electric eel bit, you know. Who dares text me during my stream? Oh boy. So yeah, action lovers, this one's for you. It says it right on the cover. So let's get into it. We're gonna watch these guys take down these goons, and then probably more goons, lesser powered goons. But here we go. To save a city, the X-Men, action lovers, this one's for you. And I imagine, like, the narrator is winking as he's saying it, like, this one's for you, slugger. X-Men, the most unusual fighting team of all time, to save a city. It's... what in the hell? Here we go. It's rollickin' resume time, but instead of wasting a lot of space on a wordy introductions, let's quickly plunge right in and let the story tell itself. In a few moments, while you are chained here, helpless, I shall steal the nation's capital. JD! I see that it looks like you got a bunch of sad frog faces. Or are they wacky frog faces? I can't tell. How you doing, buddy? Long time no see. Sorry I've been away for so long. I've been up to some cool shit between my hydroponics and mycology projects, so I've been busy, and my computer broke down in the past like 2 weeks ago too. So it's just been a bunch of stuff for me. What are you up to, buddy? You still studying? How's work going? Let's see. In a few moments, while you are all still here chained helpless, I shall steal the nation's capital. Just as you X-Men fell before the power of the new revived Magia, so will all of America soon grovel before the might of Count Nefaria. Join me and share my supreme triumph, for if you do not, I shall be forced to ultimately destroy you. Crying frogs, don't worry, it's all good. I just watched the new Last of Us. Oh yeah, I hear that'll do that to you. Yeah, I've yet to play, or I'll say this: I tried to play the Last of Us games. It wasn't really for me. Not because it was a bad game, just didn't grab me. But I'm pretty sure I watched all the cutscenes at least. Still haven't watched the TV show though. But it's holding up pretty well, you would say. Oh, alright. Yeah, I need to get caught up with that. I have been hitting like another content well, so... or dry spell. What are you, Nefaria? Some kind of nut? Nobody could possibly capture the entire District of Columbia. Oh, he's going right for DC. Oh, is that supposed to be a play like Marvel's coming for DC, like Washington, DC? You think there's any kind of cleverness there? I kind of doubt it, but... Your superpower flunkies may have captured us separately, but you'll never get the X-Men to help you in your moronic plot. Who is this Count Nefaria? We've never encountered him before. Don't be too certain, Angel. There's something about him that makes me suspect he may be able to carry out his threat. So let him orate away, Cyclops. We're definitely a captive audience. Edited in Ecstasy by Stan Lee. I'd like to imagine Stan Lee was just popping a bunch of ecstasy and he was like, oh my god, this issue feels amazing, as he's like rubbing it against his skin. Written in Rapture by Roy Thomas. Drawn in Delight by Warner Roth. I noticed this is kind of like having a... like, it's getting... the feelings are getting less and less good. Like, it went from Rapture... from Ecstasy to Rapture to now like a mild delight. And now we're going into... Delineated in Depth by Dick Ayers. Lettered in a Lawn Chair by R.T. Simek. So, are they saying, like, by the time it gets into Stan Lee, all the good drugs are happening? That's my guess. That's gonna be my takeaway from that little intro. It's oddly specific with their feelings. The beast is correct, my friends. Furthermore, you have no choice but to aid me, for whether you do or not, the world will hold you responsible for the greatest of crimes. So that's your angle, to force us to help you. That still doesn't explain how you intend to capture Washington, the most carefully guarded city on Earth. I chose to reveal no more at this time, but rest assured, the menace is a very real one. Refuse to serve me, and not only will 1,000,000 persons be doomed, but in the most ironic of all, you shall be blamed for it. My hands will be clean, and now I leave you to decide. I shall return in 1 hour. That sanguinary, I guess. That sanguinary little scene should bring all delinquent marvelettes up to date as painlessly as possible. And now we switch to the present as... Let the drama begin. The world shall soon know the irresistible power of Count Nefaria. First, the nation's capital must be sealed off from all outside influences. So just to catch people up, at some point, I don't know if it was the Fantastic Four or the Avengers, but some other superhero team stopped this asshole and his criminal syndicate known as the Magia. He's revived this criminal syndicate, plus bringing on like 5 other supervillains to help enforce and, get the dirty work done. So just to give a little backstory on this guy here. Then, even as the Count manipulates the controls of his awesome invention, the citizens of Washington are suddenly startled to behold... What's this? It can't be snow, not in June. No, it's countless glowing particles crystallizing in the air, but what can it mean? However, there is no answer except silence as the luminescent fragments combine to form a solid encompassing dome about the entire city. Oh. That is bad news bears. Holy Hannah, where did that thing come from? Your guess is as good as mine. It appeared just as we were going down in for a landing. Nobody can get through from either side. Is it some new plan to make Washington attack-proof? And inside the transparent prison... Look, officer, if this is some kind of alert, how long is this gonna last? This truck's loaded down with perishable goods. If this is just a test, Mac, I don't know any more about it than you do, and I don't wish I did. The cars are backed up for miles already. Meanwhile, in the Capitol building, America's lawmakers have much more on their minds than traffic. I don't like it. The president assured us that dome's not of our making. I wonder, could it be theirs? We must get to the bottom of this and fast. I'm calling in the Pentagon. But even as the senator dials, both the civil and military authorities are already on the spot. And I might as well be swinging a string of spaghetti as this axe. No go, this phonemic drill will cut a diamond, but it will not even dent this stuff. Alright, man, that's enough. We'll have to blast our way in. I like to see the joint efforts of fireman and construction worker under the command of the army, or whatever. And so, dynamite is tied down on the strangling, all-encompassing dome. Oh, strange. On the strange, all-encompassing dome with discouraging results. Vroom!
We struck out again. What's that thing made of anyway? General, I have a hunch that nothing short of an A-bomb is going to smash through that barrier. You may be right, Captain, but we dare not use nuclear weapons without knowing just how strong that dome is. Otherwise, the loss in lives and property could be staggering. Then, what is there left that we can do, General? Nothing, except sit and wait. I suspect that whoever constructed this device will get in touch with us.
And you guessed it, Marvelite, at that very moment.
They have give Washington and the nation long enough to determine that they can do nothing that will rid them of my crystalline dome. Now it is time to present my demands. For in so doing, I shall force the X-Men to become my allies in this most daring of all possible crimes.
Bare seconds later, on the steps of the Capitol, a most unusual scene is enacted. Stand aside, guard. We've come about the shield which covers this city.
The X-Men? There's a special committee meeting about that right now. Go on in. After seeing you battle the Sentinels, I have a hunch if anyone can lick this thing, it's you.
As recounted in X-Men 14 through 16, inconclusive, remember, Smiley. Then, a mind-staggering ultimatum. We are responsible for your imprisonment if you will issue to us certificates worth $1 million at once. Otherwise, within 3 hours, the crystals of the dome will absorb all the oxygen inside it and you will die.
What? You're mad! We've only one committee. We'd have to call a special session of the entire Congress.
Then call it. Remember, you have 3 hours. If one of the X-Men will pick it up from your representative on the Capitol steps. Have the money there, or suffer the dire consequences. And now, goodbye.
And if you think we're bluffing, just try us. Here they come. Grab 'em, Eddie. Right, but they're ignoring us.
What's going on with Beast? He's like the size of a child. Like, even if he was standing up, he would be like chest height. That art's fucked.
Hey, they vanished. All 5 of them. Is that one of their mutant powers to you? I don't know, Charlie, but with those muties, anything's possible. After all, they ain't really human. But what worries me is what'll happen to all of us if Congress turns down their demand.
Gleep. In the meantime, what about our real Muchly? Is Muchly a word? I'll roll with it. In the meantime, what about our real, muchly mistreated mutants? Let's not forget about them. We've got to get free somehow. Hold on to your goggles, psych. Marvel Girl's giving Hank's cuffs a go telekinetically.
I hope she succeeds. They're too strong for my ice power to affect.
I realize this is hardly the appropriate time, but that tickles.
Quiet, all of you. I've got to have complete concentration.
Any luck at all, Jean? Oh wait, no, that's Angel. Any luck at all, Jean?
Negative, Angel.
Whoever designed these shackles did so with me in mind. They're too complicated for me to undo without first having studied the locks. If only we could manage to mentally contact the professor. But why can't the fettered crime fighters contact their leader telepathically? We were hoping you'd ask. I'm almost glad my X-Men are just having a vacation just now. For this new invention I'm perfecting is so important I must give it my undivided attention. Ring! Oh, that noise. Oh, it's just the telephone. I've mentally sealed off my brain so that while I'm working, even the X-Men can't contact me. But I forget about such a mundane thing as a telephone. Hello, General. No, as a matter of fact, I haven't been listening to the radio. What? An emergency regarding my X-Men? Yes, of course, I'll meet you there within the hour. That was General Fredericks, with whom I've worked as civilian advisor when we defeated the Sentinels. He says that the X-Men are threatening the nation's capital and hopes that I can be of some assistance in combating them. His story is fantastic, but he can't be lying. I must contact my students. Attention, X-Men, wherever you are, contact me at once. Do you read me? No answer with my first try. They must be some distance away, but I will reach them. I must.
Meanwhile, in Nefaria's hideout near Washington... Don't give up, Marvel Girl. I've got an idea. If only you could bypass the metal band on my head and open my visor slightly. My powerful eye beams would free us.
I'll try, Scott, but I'm so weak.
You've got to try, Jean. The fate of this city is at stake.
It's giving. I can mentally feel the visor opening, but...
That did it. You managed to pry it open with just enough so that the energy beam from my eyes forced it. I'll turn on my beam on my own bonds, then free the rest of you.
Don't take too long, Psych. I'm getting awfully tired of being the poor man's prisoner of Zenda.
I don't know what that means. That reference is too old for me, or I'm too dumb. Next, with grim resoluteness, Scott Summers swiftly frees his fellow X-Men. Fep. That's the sound effect. Fep. That's more like it. Now, let's tackle Nefaria and those creeps who captured us.
What could the Count have meant when he said we would have to join him?
We can't be sure, Jean. But my guess is that he's in the process of framing us for whatever colossal crime he's committing, figuring that as outcasts we will have no one to turn to but him. Hold still, Hank, and there. Many thanks, loquacious leader, but why must the long-suffering beast always must be left to last? Oh well, c'est la vie, as they say.
Now comes the good part. Wait till I punch the ice-cold kibosh on that slippery eel.
Wait, Bobby. Listen, all of you. We're being contacted mentally by the professor. I had a hunch he'd find us sooner or later.
Attention, X-Men. This is Professor Xavier. I have just probed your location telepathically, and I am ready with your instructions.
Fire when ready, sir. We're all ears. And so, it is that, a short time later, as the malevolent master of dreams elatedly observed a giant telescreen. I'm proud that I got all of that out.
They've done it. They've agreed to my terms. The Senate has just voted a special appropriation to be picked up by the X-Men at the expiration of the 3-hour period. That's fine and dandy with us, Nefaria. Our only question is, what's our percentage of the take?
The X-Men? How?
Never mind that, Count. Let's just say we wised up and let it go at that. Let it go at that. After all, as you said, the humans hate us. Why shouldn't we get our revenge on them and make money at the same time?
A most sagacious decision, my friends. But let me warn you of one small detail. I have designed the crystalline dome in such a way that only I can manipulate the dials to dissipate it. If anyone else tries, he will bring total annihilation to your capital. Remember that in case you harbor any foolish conceptions about deceiving me.
Then, after the Count explains his scheme,
into this truck, and it will take you to the location where you can enter the trapped city.
Nefaria is so confident. I hope the professor knows what he's doing.
Driven to the scene in a common milk truck. How plebeian.
But as soon as the X-Men are hauled away,
ready with Plan C. Commence now.
Instantly, from another part of the Count's innocent-looking headquarters, a second vehicle departs at top speed. And, passing the bogus milk truck, it deposits its unsavory passengers at the outer rim of the dome before the X-Men arrive. Let's see. Now, I forget completely which voices I use for any of these guys. So I'm going to make it like so you can barely hear this dude. Because he's got the mask and all that shit on.
Well, it's agreed. We shall see Count Nefaria no more. That fool. He has sent us to watch the X-Men to be certain that they do not attempt any trickery. Even if he does not suspect that we, his lieutenant in the new Magia, intend to seize the $100 million for ourselves. But now, out of sight, the mutants will be here at any moment.
Plant Man.
Don't be so too fast to order us around, Unicorn. Remember, you are only our provisional leader. Plant Man speaks the truth, for if your plan fails, then one of us becomes the leader, and I know which one I'd vote for.
It's too many voices. Meanwhile, just to get things really complicated, Professor X arrives just outside of Washington.
And that's the story, Xavier. We were hoping you, as an acknowledged expert on mutants, could tell us how they might have created that infernal dome.
If only he realized why I'm an expert on mutants, he'd be after my scalp as well. I'll do all I can, General, but are you certain that the X-Men are behind this? Could someone be framing them?
Take your stations, man. We've got to be ready for anything.
Nice. Look at that. We got some flamethrower units. Nice riflemen there. Reminds me of those old plastic green army men. I'm sure somebody in the world's still playing with those.
Framing them? The radio reports coming out of Washington verify that those blasted mutants walked right into the Capitol and demanded we ransom the city or else.
I know from my preliminary mental probing that those were only images created by Count Nefaria, but I can't prove it for now, so I'm sorry, General. You're right, of course, if you'll just give me a few minutes to do some thinking on the matter.
All right, but you better think fast. If those mutants can seize the nation's capital, there's no place on Earth that is safe from them.
I hated to disappoint the General's faith in me, but I had to get him to leave me alone for a while.
Look at that, Bill. Our mutant expert has gone to sleep. Too much excitement, I guess. Yeah, poor guy.
It's time for my invisible astral image to go to work. It is only in this form, in which I have no solid substance, that I can know anything like the thrill of walking again. But no time to think of that now. I'm approaching Count Nefaria's stronghold. Though the X-Men are no longer here, their emanators remain, so I know that this is the place where I contacted them earlier. And that must be Nefaria himself. I cannot physically act while I am in my astral body, but I can observe and learn. The panel truck carries the X-Men past the final unsuspecting soldiers. At last, my months of planning begin to bear fruit. Now to create a momentary opening in the dome, through which the mutants can pass to collect the ransom. With the money, I shall return to my castle in Central Europe. There, I'll rebuild the Magia into the most powerful criminal organization on Earth. Then, I shall deal in billions, not millions. He must be stopped, but how? Ooh, get a sip of water. Man, I don't know how those old pros did it for hours on end. I guess they had commercial breaks. If I'm thinking technically. But, as Professor X ponders this perplexing problem, we know how eager you are to get back to our harassed heroes, and so... Well, here we are, but where's the entrance to the dome that Nefaria promised us? Don't worry, Angel. If he created the dome, I'm sure he can control it. Hey group, look alive. Something's happening. As so often in the past, Bobby boy, you've put your frostbitten finger right on the crux of the matter. Something's happening indeed. Okay. Good contribution, Beast. A small hole suddenly appeared, just big enough for all of us to pass through. And now it's closing behind us. You gotta admit, this Nefaria cookie really knows his stuff. There is no time to start admiring the Count, Iceman. Remember, we're on opposite sides. Is that why we're picking up a king's ransom for him? All my enemies should be so benevolent. As the reluctant renegades race through the outskirts of the city, they pay no attention as their progress is carefully monitored. Baker to Able. X-Men now passing point Y on schedule, headed towards Capitol Building. This way, my costume compeers. Let the bounding beast's infallible sense of direction lead the way. They would be considerably more upset, however, if they knew of 5 more sinister pairs of eyes that gazed upon them greedily.
When do we make our move, Unicorn? Should we follow them to the capital? Patience, you overgrown weed. There is no need for such haste. Sure, let the X-Men do our dirty work for us, and then we'll step in and relieve them of the money. And best of all, it is them who will be shot by the police, not we.
A few brief minutes later, on the steps of the building in which America's laws are enacted,
The special large denomination certificates and redeemable in gold anywhere in the world. Luckily, they happen to be readily available, or we could have never met the mutant's deadline. But where are they? It's almost time.
The next instant. Sorry if I'm late, Congressman. Strategy conference, you know.
What? The angel?
I'll just relieve you of this little briefcase if you don't mind. No need to fly an invasion course. This part of the job's a breeze.
This may be the blackest day in history. The U.S. forced to ransom its own capital.
Then, as the high-flying angel streaks upward, now I'll rejoin the others, and hey, some eager beavers taking pot shots at me.
Don't worry, Congressman. I'll bring the thief down. Guard, no, wait! Someone must have neglected to brief that guard. If it shoots the angel, it means the doom of the city.
Sorry, pal, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put your trigger finger out of commission for a little while.
My gun hand is encased in ice.
You win the cigar, chum, and aren't you lucky that I'm not the Human Torch? Thanks, Bobby. Now let's head back to this perimeter of the city. Picking up the money was kid stuff. When do we get some action? Wow, that music really took a turn. So far, everything's according to schedule. Still, I wish the professor were here. I'm sure he's keeping tabs on us mentally, Gene. Besides, let's show him what we can do on our own. Cheer up, Robert, my lad. We're not home free yet. You can say that again, Hank. Look up ahead. Some of the populace has turned out to greet us. And I'll bet they're not here to give us the keys to the city.
They're those crummy mutants. Come on, man. Let's show them what we think of traitors.
We're with you, buddy. Hey, that was close. And I dropped the briefcase with the money. Swish. Don't worry, Warren. I've got it. Just our luck, those guys had to be near a pile of bricks when they spotted us. Wow, that sounds familiar.
Alas, why must the agile beast be consistently a target for misdirected hostilities?
Zick. All of you, use defensive measures only. We cannot harm these people just because they think we're crooks. But we can't delay too long. That's for sure. If Count Nefaria gets too impatient, he'll cause his cookie dome to absorb the city's oxygen. I think it's supposed to be kooky. His cookie dome to absorb the city's oxygen. Meanwhile, a short distance away. It's time like this I'm really glad I have wings, but over there, a bunch of them have Hank surrounded. Hang on, beast, I'm on my way. Come down at your own chosen speed, Angel. In the meantime, I'll just scramble up this imposing edifice here and enjoy the view.
He's climbing up the Washington Monument. Stop him. Oh, he's like a blasted monkey.
On careful reconsideration, Warren, perhaps I'd best accept your generous offer after all. Going my way. Just so happens I am, Beast, but what about the others? I can't carry them all at once. But exactly 10 seconds later, help arrives from the most unexpected quarter.
It's no wonder those mutant masqueraders haven't arrived back at the dome yet. Some panicky citizens are attacking them.
We must aid them so that we can relieve them of that briefcase quickly. And so, each of the costume criminals lends a hand in his own colorful way.
To the rescue, my pretties. Think of all the birdseed your share of the loot will buy. Alfred Hitchcock has nothing on the scarecrow.
Look out, a bunch of crows are swooping at us. Ow! What a fucking loser. This is his power?
Very clever, my straw-step associate, but the porcupine has even more effective ways of dealing with intruders.
Tear gas. You're both being too gentle with them. Let the eel show you how it's done. Bzap.
Yep. Electrical blast. Are they a bunch of mutants too?
Of course we are fools. Did you think we'd let our fellow mutants fall before mere Homo sapiens? How beautifully ironic. The X-Men will be held responsible for our acts. For unlike them, we've no scruples against harming people. All right, now that each of you has had his little fun, it's time for the Plant Man to step in and finish this little melodrama. These leafy friends of mine ought to take some of the fight out of our attackers.
Well done! They flee like the curs they are!
Run? How can we fight?
Oh wait, no, that's one of the Pepples. Run! How can we fight somebody who can make trees come to life?
Swoosh, whoosh. Let the army take care of him. I'm getting out of here. Let them go. We have wasted enough time on them. Our business is with the X-Men in that briefcase.
X-Men, this way. Count Nefaria's opening an escape hatch for us. Hurry before it closes again, and we're trapped in here. Look, it's the creeps who captured us. Last issue. Stan. Any port in a storm, Iceman, but keep your guard up. I've a hunch we may be in for trouble. In the next moment, as 10 fleet forms plunge... Okay. In the next moment, as 10 fleet forms plunge swiftly through the opening... We made it, and it's closing up behind us. And now, Cyclops, I'll take that pouch if you don't mind. Count Nefaria sent us to pick it up for him. Sorry, Unicorn, but we're delivering this little bundle to the Count personally. If he had wanted you to have it, he had told us. Blast you! You've had your chance to surrender the money peacefully. Now you will suffer the consequences. Oh, look, we get a beam struggle. Dragon Ball style. Uh-oh. Looks as if these costume clowns are planning a king-size double cross, and we're forced to help Nefaria. It's a stalemate, Horn Top. Your ray beam against mine. Zap. Perhaps for the moment, but there are other ways. Eel, the rest of you, get them! Beast, catch this and run while I keep Unicorn busy. Will do, Psyche.
Not so fast, my ape-like friend. I have but the touch of the studs on my weapons belt, and this liquid cement will stop you in your tracks.
Sloosh. You know, you may just have a point there. I was moving too fast, can't reverse in time to avoid getting splintered with that glue. Or splattered with that glue.
Oh, he's splooging. It's even splooging. It says the splooge effect and it's coming right from his dick. Sorry, I had to point it out. Of course you're ready to take on the splooge, Iceman. Have no fear, Beastie. Iceman is here.
What? An icy shield blocking my cement?
Many thanks for your timely assistance, lad. Still, if you won't take offense at a friendly suggestion, your attempts at rhymed repartee still leave much to be desired. Well, you two prattle, I'll get onto the roof of the problem.
Wait.
While you two prattle, I'll get to the roots of the problem, and to that briefcase as well.
Oh, how namagus. Oh, God. How namagus, I can't say. That bananaminous. Tripped up and to the accompaniment of a pun yet. Whatever, you're always making dumb puns, beast. Don't worry, don't let it worry you, beast. The flying part of our little team will take over now. There ain't any plants in the sky to get in my way. It's funny, $100 million in certificates in this pouch, and we toss it back and forth like a ping pong ball.
Perhaps I can't stop you, Angel, but someone else can.
An instant later, before Warren can dart to safety. Oh, I was overconfident as usual. I forgot about Scarecrow's blasted trained birds.
Such a pity, my feathered friend, but I'll take care of it for you.
Being attacked from all sides, I can't hold on to the money. Very kind of you, Scarecrow. However, I think it might be wiser if I just guide it telekinetically. Don't you agree? There, I knew you'd see it that way.
Another one. Don't you costume juvenile delinquents ever give up? They don't have to, Strawface. Not as long as the eel is around to defeat them.
Oh, that dazzling light.
I make it a point to never harm a lady, at least not as long as a blinding flash of electricity will accompany the same ends. So I'll just take that pouch and... Unicorn, what are you... Ah!
Zot. You and the others are fools, Eel. Did you think that I tended to share this prize with the likes of you? But since you helped me attain it, I shall merely stun you into unconsciousness. And some miles away, observing his henchman's adverse actions in a somewhat less than aesthetic, in a somewhat less than an aesthetic Count Nefaria.
So he thinks I can be thus trifled with, does he? He shall pay for his treachery.
Seconds later, before the uncanny supervillain can make his escape, he finds himself hemmed in by the X-Men and a squad of squadron.
The X-Men and a squadron of army tanks suddenly appearing out of that fog bank.
Looks like you're surrounded, Unicorn. Why not simply relinquish that briefcase so we can settle this matters amicably?
Never. Not so long as my power horn has energy left to destroy the accursed tanks, but wait. What's this? They fade away as the beam touches them. They are only images, created by Nefaria to confound me.
Then, before the startled eyes of the teenaged heroes, he's flying using tiny rocket lifts in his boots. Who's flying? What? I'll never catch him at that speed. He'll be out of sight in seconds. But we can't quit now. We've got to get to him. Right you are, Bobby. Let's go. We'll return to our quandary-struck quintet in a few panels, but first, let's see how Professor X has been spending these fast, frantic minutes.
It's been 3 hours, General, and the city is still unharmed. I suspected as much. The whole thing was a fraud, dreamed up by the mutants to rob us. Don't be too sure, General. Sorry, Professor Xavier, but I've no time to gab with you now. I'm going to order the X-Men shot on sight. Then you won't need my services any longer. I'll be going.
A few minutes later, at a swank motel nearby, "Here is your key, sir. Isn't it terrible about the city being encased in all?"
Yes, quite. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd appreciate if your man would wheel me to my room at once. I am really very exhausted." What a cold fish. 750,000 people in mortal danger, and all he wants to do is sleep.
And now you see, we told you we'd pick up on the action right away.
What? Again, the army appears on the scene before I have gone 100 yards in the air. Does Nefaria think I am a fool to be twice deceived by his subterfuge? There must be one of the mutants. He has the briefcase. Fire at will. Oh, black. Energy field protected me, but I lost the pouch in the concussion. I should have known this time the armored unit was real.
Luckily, he wasn't struck. Luckily, he was struck before he got very far. Does he have rocket? I guess he does have rocket boots. Weird they didn't show him take off. But even as their deputy leader grasps the plummeting pouch, the X-Men have other things to worry about.
I don't get it, Captain. It looks like they're fighting amongst themselves.
You didn't enlist to understand, Corporal.
Just duck in that tank and fire. That goes for you too, soldier. Yes, sir. All right, man. Get ready. We'll teach those mutants to... Hey, what gives? The gun barrel's frozen solid.
Sorry, dog faces. We're all for target practice, but not when we're the target. Great going, Iceman. Meanwhile, I'll handle these lads in my own imitatable style. What's wrong, boys? A fella'd think you'd never saw a white-feathered crime buster before.
Scatter! One of them is dive-bombing us. Somebody get a beat on that flying freak.
Flying freak, did you say? It grieves me to the quick to hear you thus disparage my avian associate. Splat. Kathank.
What the? Oof. They're coming at us from all sides.
Meanwhile, not far away, Scott Summers has reached the side of Marvel Girl. Take the briefcase to the rendezvous point, Jean. I'll stay here and help the others. I don't like to leave you and the rest of the X-Men, but I know I must. However, unknown to the grim Cyclops, a second group of ground troops is approaching the area of battle from behind.
Look, Cyclops is giving the money to the girl. Let's get to it. Okay, man. Our orders are to capture the X-Men, dead or alive. Those costume kooks up ahead aren't them. But they sure aren't here just to see the scenery, so let's take them in for questioning. Oh, here comes trouble. We can't just afford to let ourselves be stepped now.
And, amply warned as they are, the costume crooks prove easier to have than hold.
Watch it! These birds are murder!
Get it? Because it's a murder of crows. You fucking get the joke. You get it? Does it make you fucking smile? Okay.
All right, pal. Now we've got you in. Holy cow, he broke free! Of course, clowns. Of course, clowns. I'm also an expert escape artist, not a mere trainer of birds. Huh? That character got out by all three of us. I'm as slippery as an eel, you might say, thanks to a special silicone coating on my costume. Watch it, you guys. The edges of this buzzard's quills are razor sharp.
Right so, the porcupine does not take kindly to being apprehended for any reason.
Well, we've got him now, but what do we do with him? The soldiers momentarily overlooked me because of my camouflaging outfit. That gives me just enough time I need to grow my own army.
Precisely 10 seconds later.
A jungle appearing out of nowhere. Get back inside the tank, Charlie. We have to fight our way out of this stuff. Well done, plant man. Those weeds you enlarged and brought to life will keep them busy while we escape. Of course, besides, we have committed no real crime here.
But the X-Men have escaped with the loot.
And what happened to the unicorn?
Well, Marvelites, we hope you enjoyed our little Sunday romp with nefarious masquerading minions, because that's all you're going to see of them, for now anyway. Meanwhile, some distance away, there goes our truck back to Nefarious' hideout. It looks like the Count's lost interest in us now that he has $100 million. Don't worry, he's not getting rid of us that easily. Follow the truck, Angel.
Oh, either way, it would appear that we must hoof it back.
And while we're tying up loose ends, let's not forget the uncanny unicorn who is still in the vicinity.
Luckily, I fell into these bushes when I was caught off guard by that exploding shell. I haven't much power left in my rocket-soled shoes, so I'd better lie out until those troops have left the area.
At this moment, several miles away from Washington,
at any minute now, the truck will return, bringing me the infinite wealth I need. Then, when I use that money to re-establish the Magia, the world will know the greatest crime wave in its history.
But even as confident Count speaks, a new element enters his fateful game. An element whose existence he has not suspected.
That buster, where do you think you're going? Nobody gets through here this gate.
Step aside, underlings. I have no wish to harm you. I have business with your master, the one who dwells inside.
This is just a warehouse, buddy. Nobody lives here, so, Hey, I can't move.
And in another second, neither of you will be able to talk as well. As I said, I am here to see your boss, and I have no desire to see him forewarned. Then, without a further word, the mysterious figure moved on, leaving behind him two forms, silent, unmoving. Oh, hey, thank you for that. Strongly attracted to my stream. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, though. What I will do is ban and boot the fuck out of you. Boom. Oh, wait, I was supposed to delete the message first. That's okay. I can always just refresh. Goddamn bots, can't keep them off my body. What are you gonna do? Where's my chat? Where's my chat? There's my chat. No, there's like a refresh. Am I blind? I feel blind. Oh, you know what? It's under properties. There it is. Boom. Fuck off. Did not mean to do that. Alright, back to the show. We don't spare bots around these here parts. As elsewhere in the disguised headquarters of Count Nefaria,
it has arrived. Soon all the power of the glory for which I have longed shall be mine.
Brought you the special certificates, Count. They're inside this briefcase.
I know, I've monitored your movements on my view screen. Give it to me, I have striven long, planned carefully for this moment.
Not so fast, Nefaria. First, you must remove your crystalline dome from Washington. Only then will I hand over the briefcase.
She's using her mutant telekinetic power to hold me back. I can't overcome her by force, so I must do as she says. You wrong me, Marvel Girl. Count Nefaria is a man who keeps his bargains. Naturally, I adjusted the machine so that the elements in the dome did not destroy the city's oxygen.
But before you arrived, I'd arranged that the oxygen-depleting particles would be reactivated within 5 minutes, unless I pressed the proper buttons at once.
So delay no further, place the pouch on the table, or America becomes a nation with an uninhabitable capital.
I have no choice. I must trust him.
Last I have it, enough money to finance my wildest dreams. Soon my small European nation will become the center of the new Magia, a world's capital of crime.
That stranger entering silently almost looks like a ghost. Who is he? Without a word, the ominous commanding figure strides across the room and...
Who? That man, he is manipulating the controls of my dome projector, as if he had designed them.
Click, click.
But no human beings could do such a thing. They're too intricate, too delicate.
Then, a surprised Marvel Girl's mental prowess holds the enraged Kringpink. I can speak good, I swear. Let me take a sip. Then, as a surprised Marvel Girl's mental prowess holds the enraged kingpin of crime at bay, the newcomer continues to pull switch after switch on the fantastic apparatus.
Stop! You can't! You are ruining the ultra-sensitive printed circuits of the machine, destroying the crowning achievement of my lifetime.
This is an invention of evil. This invention is a monument to evil. It must and shall not endure. That voice, the proud bearing. Could it possibly be? But before Jin can give utterance to her thoughts, Marvel Girl, are you all right? We came here as fast as we could. Yes, I'm fine. How did you locate Nefaria's headquarters?
Elementary, my dear lady. Angel followed the truck here, then clued us in.
Thank the stars she's unharmed. If anything had happened to her, but where's Nefaria? Where's the pouch with the certificates? Right here. Why, they're gone. Both of them. The Count must have grabbed the money and fled, just as we entered the window. All our work for nothing. No, Angel, not for nothing. Count Nefaria just boarded his ship down below and is starting to pull away from the dock. But there's no need for you to concern yourselves with him for now. Mister, I don't mean to be rude, but who in the blazes are you? Look, the harbor. The one known as Unicorn. No, wait, Warren, don't you recognize him? The most dangerous of Nefaria's cronies. Let us see. And gazing across the ever-widening distance between themselves and the Count's vessel, the astonished mutants see... It's Unicorn, all right. Quickly, we must overtake the ship before it reaches the 3-mile limit. The 3-mile limit? Are they respecting international borders? If anything, they'd have more permission to kill them in international waters. Have no fear, X-Men. Oh, it's Xavier. The ship will not reach international waters, I promise you that. The masked figure, it's Professor X. The hood muffled his voice. But But sir, you're walking. How? For months I have been secretly working on a lightweight, flexible metal braces for my legs, and at last I have nearly perfected them. Holy shit. So he had the ability to walk as early as this, basically. This transistorized power source hooked onto my belt is all that I need to operate them for several hours at a time. Look at him smoke his fucking pipe. What a cheeseball. I love it. It's too bad he's half a pedophile. That's wonderful. That's wonderful news, Professor. But what about Nefaria and the unicorn? Shouldn't we catch up with them and recover the $100 million? Oh, I guess that was Bobby. Pretend it was Bobby. That would be a most laudable suggestion, Bobby, if they had the money. What do you mean, they don't? No, if you merely glance under the table, you'll see the briefcase the briefcase. Then Nefaria got away empty-handed. Oh wait, no, that's Scott now. Shit. The briefcase. Then Nefaria got away empty-handed. Not exactly, Scott. Not exactly. And now, to learn the meaning of Xavier's cryptic statement, we join the exultant Count Nefaria aboard his fleeing vessel. $100 million, wealth beyond the imaginations of most mortals, but soon there will be more ingenious crimes, more riches than anyone has ever possessed. This is only the beginning. You are mistaken, Count. This is the end of your career. For though my power horn is exhausted, I still possess the strength to wrest the pouch from you. Unicorn, wait, don't. We have no need for strife. Before us is a treasure for 1,000 men. What witchcraft is this? The briefcase is fading from sight, and with it are dreams of wealth and power. Somehow, in some way, the X-Men tricked us. As back in the Magia's abandoned headquarters. And about this time, Nefaria and the Unicorn should be discovering that I used the Count's own machine against them, creating a mental image of the coveted briefcase. In addition, I alerted the Coast Guard, which should have them safely in tow within 5 minutes. Now perhaps the gendarmes will stop accosting us for their crimes. Meanwhile, Jean, this letter arrived for you this morning. For me? Then, as the feminine member of the unique team opens the envelope and begins to read, a strange hush falls over the mutant superheroes. Jean, is something wrong? Is there anything that we can do? No, Warren, nothing. If it's trouble, let us share it. No, Scott, it's Jean who must decide if it is we who can help her, not we ourselves. It's all right, Professor. It isn't something I can hide for long, much as I might wish to. Tomorrow, I must leave the X-Men. Forever. Next issue, more startlingly different, amazingly imaginative developments as the most unusual fighting team battles the Locust. And that isn't enough said, we don't know what is. Alright, there we go. We got another issue down. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I know it's a bit of a shorter one, but we did get to wrap up the plot line at least, so I'm grateful for that. And I'm gonna be back a little more frequently now that I've got my own life sorted out between my plant projects and oh yeah, you know what? I'll give you guys a little preview of what I got going on. These my radishes that I've been growing for a couple weeks now. Some cabbage. Some other friends. My mushroom project. You can see some mycelium at the bottom here kind of growing out. A little closer. You can kind of see a little bit of the white there. Got a little bit. My white rabbit's doing the best right now. This is the white rabbit. But that's all nice and healthy looking mycelium growing there. So I haven't used the jar method before. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it can be for me. But for everybody that tuned in and hung out, thanks for checking in. But whether you watch now or later, wherever you are, whenever you are, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking in on me. And I'm gonna be back with some more comics, I think, tomorrow. I'm gonna try to think of a new game to get into, something that can really hold my interest. But we're gonna keep defaulting to comic book otherwise. But whether it's now or later, peace.
Listen up as I narrate the Vector's tale. A man from afar riding the temporal gale. Ronin by name and a Ronin by fate. In the tapestry of time he's got a date. He ain't just saving, he's exploring the rift. In the timelines he travels, he's given a lift. Seeking tech and secrets in a world that's gone astray. Ronin's the man who's gonna find a way. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. From a future so bright to our present so bleak, he's the silent watcher, the tech he does seek. Not just a savior, but a seeker of lore. Ronin's the key to what we're looking for. Through the ruins and the relics, he's making his mark. A beacon of hope in the timeline so dark. With every secret he finds, every piece he retrieves. He's crafting a future nobody believes. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defies.